Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Are you?
Oh,
Okay.
what happened to John?
Nothing. I'm just making faces.
Okay.
All right.
Somebody came in the room and farted.
Oh!
Primarily critical.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Primarily Critical of Movies at an After Party. This would be it.
If you have not seen this film, we suggest that you do so before listening any further.
Because we got spoiler trivia and opinions like crazy, and we can't wait to share them.
Good, bad, new, old, weird, or gross.
We pass judgment on them all.
Today, imagine an octopus fucking a rainbow in a pile of shit while everyone watching took a chainsaw to their own testicles. That is this movie.
Wow.
Wow, that's a wow.
My name
Wowzers.
is Steve. I'm here with
Phil.
and
John, that was quite an imaginative,
Wow, that's loaded.
yeah.
synopsis of this movie.
Well, it's quite a load. I mean,
Yeah.
this movie. Wow.
Wow.
Who picked this one?
I did, yeah, me,
Oh,
guilty.
dude,
Guilty
dude.
as charged.
That is you wound me, sir.
What?
You wound me.
This was a fun, interesting movie. I thought it was
Really? Holy.
it was a trip. It was
Wow.
a trip. A trip.
It was garbage. Well, okay. I'd like to hear your take. What did you like about it?
Well, do you guys know it's based on a short story by H.P. Lovecraft? And I don't know if that matters, but
I
he's
didn't know that.
from 1927, and they got Nicolas Cage in it, and that's all I needed to know. I wanted to go on the journey, see what the Cage could bring us. And he's always fun in movies. He does like 100 movies a year, so one of 100 are good. Guys, I don't know.
I'm a huge Nicolas Cage fan, and
Yeah?
I had hopes. Well, higher hopes. I didn't have huge hopes, but I had higher hopes. And I didn't like this movie.
Explain.
He did good. This movie went nowhere. We got no explanations of anything. It was just kind of like and it wasn't even done all that well. I felt like there's.
I disagree there. I think it was shot beautifully. It had a cool look to it. There's some good effects.
I'll give you that. I thought some.
Whether or not the story worked for you, that's another story. But I thought it looked good. It was very
Visually it was okay.
eerie, and the acting was pretty good. Steve, what do you think?
Oh man, what a trash fire.
Explain. Yeah, go for it, man.
Well, okay. H.P. Lovecraft. I haven't read any of his stuff, so I wish I could be a better critic in that way. I truly believe that the director and even Nicolas Cage knew what they were doing when they made this movie. It was not for me. This was not my cup of tea. Because it was a steaming pile of garbage. There was no. What was the point? There was no point.
Yeah.
Well, the point was a meteor hits this family's farm, and they took no precautions. Nobody took it serious, and they left this meteor on their property. And
what happened to the meteor, Phil? What happened to
it? It hopped in. From what did it go into the well? I don't know. Now, here's the thing. It drove them crazy. It drove them crazy. It was like a bubble on their farm. They couldn't communicate with the outside world. All sorts of crazy shit happens, and
without any explanation. The viewer is left with way more questions than answers.
Yeah,
it just keeps on presenting more and more things where you go, oh, I wonder what's going to happen with that. Oh, what's going to happen with that? And you get nothing.
Nothing is resolved. Nothing is resolved.
Nothing is resolved. So you just kind of like a movie of it's hell for the viewer because you're going through, you're like, oh man, wow, they've added that. There's got to be some answer. The alien looked like from fucking a grasshopper Tinkerbell, and we don't even get an answer about that.
Praying mantis.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Like no answers, nothing. It's just.
I have a theory.
Okay.
I have a theory. That the young girl at the beginning of the movie who conducts a ritual,
yes,
she asks, the powers that be to solve her mother's cancer problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was solved.
It was solved.
It was
Yeah.
solved.
It was
they all died.
That was the last thing they were worried about.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're right.
Proverb of careful what you wish for, it may come true, right?
Exactly.
So this alien entity that invades this farm is basically, I think, in my opinion, and it's like it's assimilating them or something. It's turning them into like mutating them, and it's
who knows?
Right, it's gonna take over the world. At the end of the movie, I'm like. The one guy that survives, the hydrologist or something,
yeah,
right?
The hydrologist, yeah.
Right? So he's like, this is like a world-ending event. I agree. This movie was like confounding at the end. What the hell happens after that, right? And maybe I'll stop trying to defend this movie. Maybe it was crap. Maybe it was.
No, Phil, seriously. Okay. You got to stick to your guns. You got to stick to your guns.
It makes a better show if there's somebody who likes it. So maybe you just play devil's advocate then.
Maybe it was crap. I'll change my opinion. I had fun with it, but did you not have fun watching these guys like lose their shit and act weird? And Chong from Cheech and Chong's in there, right? It's like it was entertaining.
He was the best part.
Yeah.
How is that? Who did he play?
He plays the guy. Was he
guy in the woods?
The guy in the woods.
Okay, that makes sense now. Okay. Yeah. Ursa,
yeah.
Oh, something like that. Yeah.
So the biggest thing that bugged me about this movie, and obviously a lot of things were stupid, was the fact that how lightly they took this meteor crashing into this farm. That would have been like lockdown, like for miles around, like it's radiation. It's who knows what. Well, then they just treat it like the local news shows up and does it like it's an alien and it's stupid. It's the mayor shows up. It's like nobody they don't take it seriously. So the rest of the time, I'm like, it's dumb. It's kind of dumb.
At one point they even say, "Oh, it's just like a regular rock,"
Yeah. So
it just made it all the way through the atmosphere.
That's weird. That was weird.
I'm trying to remember at what point. There was a specific point I'm forgetting now where I realized this movie was going to be dumb. Because there was
right there,
right off the hop. I thought, oh, this could be good. I went into optimistic, and there was a period of time where I was still optimistic, but I think it really started, like you said, with the meteor falling, like the whole way the color came into the room and stuff like that. I thought that was kind of like, okay, we'll see where this goes. I'm still holding out hope, but then it just. Once that meteor got, like you're saying, everything just went downhill from there. Like once the way they handled the meteor and all the things after that, it just started just degrading rapidly. From that point on.
Yeah. Here's do you guys see this? This is Chong.
Oh yeah, Ezra.
Yeah, that's him, right? I love that. That cameo was great. I thought that was great. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
He was a delightful participant. Okay, so there's a point where there's a pile of llamas. What are they called? Alpacas.
Alpacas, the small.
Yeah. So there's a pile of mutated alpacas that are all one creature, and they take a shotgun to each of their heads.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they they switch to the town. They switch to the hydrologist's perspective, and he's in town, and they roll up in a car, and they have this pile of mutated bodies. And I assumed it was the alpacas,
Yeah.
and that's what drove him to go to back to the farmhouse. But at what point did that body leave the property?
That is a very good point. Yeah, I don't know.
It seems like a messy editing, or they messed
Or maybe
up
was it something else? Did something else get mutated into a?
I would go with that theory. I would go with something else.
Something else.
Maybe because we did see that the purple was spreading around the farm. You know, all this growth was happening. These flowers are spreading and stuff. So it wouldn't be surprising that surrounding animals might have got affected by this.
Everything got affected, right?
Yeah.
Everything. The humans, everybody. Yeah.
It was effed up.
It was a trippy movie. Like, you kind of had to.
Okay, wait a second. Were you stoned when you watched this?
No.
No. Okay,
but
I might have enjoyed it if I was stoned.
Yeah.
So.
Do you appreciate the color changes and stuff? Like the way I thought that was cool. The way they transition things, and it was neat.
I think I might have thrown up if I was stoned.
Yeah.
Because I mean, because whenever you have like mutated combinations of people, like
yeah,
a la human centipede or whatever. I mean, I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out. I mean,
it's not a pleasant experience.
This is not cool. I can't get behind this.
No, I know.
But
why is it when the mother and the kid are fused together in this horrible cocoon of death, and they only care about the mother? It's like the kid is being squished against the back. The mother's like got him pressed up against the back of the couch, and then the dad and the brother, they only seem to be concerned about mom. You know?
Yeah, they give her a dish of water for her to lap up.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
Don't you appreciate that absurdity, gore, and weird? I don't know. And I can
appreciate that you can appreciate it.
I do. I find this.
That's what it was intended to be, but this wrote a weird middle line.
I think so. I think you gotta dumb down your level and think of a big level movie, like a grindhouse movie.
Yeah,
and go with it. Have fun with it. It was like, I don't know.
Drugs need to be involved for that, Phil. You need drugs, you know.
Okay.
You need drugs.
I don't know. What did you guys think of good old Mr. Nick Cage?
Well, hey,
Nicky Cage, a wave toe.
I didn't have any problems with the acting for the most part. I thought the daughter at times maybe it was a little had some stuff that didn't seem the greatest, but all in all, I thought the acting was pretty darn good. I just felt like the story was stupid. It was just an awful story. It
was pretty stupid. Yeah. Did you find humor in it? Did you find it? I laugh at these kind of movies because the way they act about the circumstances. I find it funny. The Nick Cage movie, I don't know. You can't take him serious ever.
No.
And I actually really liked the daughter. I thought she was going to be the survivor or the person that solved the problem.
The last woman thing, the final girl.
I thought she cast a spell of protection on herself. She was doing this carving stuff up with her, which is really gross.
Weird.
It was super weird and gross, but whatever. I thought it was going to work. She was going to solve the problem, right?
Did that do anything?
It did nothing. She died.
That would have been. Right. What was that all about then?
That was something I did exactly what you did, Steve. I clung to the idea that maybe the daughter brought this on with her stupid Wiccan thing, the ceremony in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, okay, she's doing the ceremony protection now, so she probably will be the survivor. And there's going to be something in this story to that effect that says it was, the daughter brought all this on. But it didn't do that. It didn't even go down that road. That was one part, and that's not a great, road to go down, but at least it's something.
Yeah.
But they didn't go down any road. They gave nothing to us, no answers. Horrible. That's just leaving the viewer just sitting there going like, what? Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just awful,
I'll have to. I'll agree with Steve. I don't recall. I don't know the original story this is based on, so maybe that's how it ends. A complete like the wipeout of the family. So it leads you to believe because there's a survivor. Maybe there's hope for a part two. John, you want a part two?
No. I mean,
Steve,
maybe.
you want a part two?
No, no.
All right, maybe you should get into some trivia about now and then.
Oh, God.
I don't know. Is there more to say about this movie, guys?
Well, what's the mom's name again?
When she was doing her ritual at the beginning of the movie, there was a point where the hydrologist was walking up and he said, "Hey, how's it going?" He's trying to hit on her or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And he tried to guess her religion. He said it's either Wiccan
Alexander
or Alexander.
Yeah.
Does anybody know what Alexander is?
No.
Okay. No, I have no idea.
What I do know
I
is
failed to look it up too. So
this movie takes place, I think, in Massachusetts, where the Salem witches or the whole lore goes on. So it's a Wiccan. Something to do with that.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. It's in the east coast of the states, right? So something.
I think we're giving this much credit by.
Yeah.
But
right. Hey, they had a nice farm. It's a nice property.
It was. Yeah.
It's a very nice property.
The idea. What was it with the idea of alpacas?
Well, he says the future. I mean, it's I think return for meat. It was like a smart thing for.
Yeah, and
it's supposed alpacas are supposed to be the best livestock. It has the fur for all the clothing you could ever want. It has the meat. It has the milk. It has everything that's required. Right.
Wow.
Now, obviously, cow's milk is better than alpaca milk, but alpacas do make milk, and cow's meat is better than alpaca meat, but alpacas do have meat. So I mean, it's supposed to be like an all you need animal. You know what I mean?
Wow. And there's the scenes where they're milking the alpaca, which was very funny.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, apparently Nicolas Cage has really good teat hands.
He's a teat handler.
Teat handler.
Oh,
that's right.
Man. Wow. Steve, you know way more about that.
I want
you'd ever know. That's awesome.
Him to handle my teeth.
Alpaca though. They look like they should be a pet, not livestock. They're too.
John, they can be your pet and then you can slaughter them at the end. It's just a circle of life.
It's not easy, Phil. It's not easy to slaughter.
It's just
hey, but you got to do what you got to do when you're surviving out there in the COVID times.
Alpacas are just a pretty camel. That's what they are. And camels are awful. They're like,
I've never had the pleasure to hang out with a camel, so I'll reserve my judgment of alpacas.
You go to the zoo and you wait until you get a close-up look at them. They are awful. All right. Anyway.
Okay.
Color Out of Space. Trivia. Point 1.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Go. Okay. The narrator's name is Ward Phillips, as in Howard Phillips Lovecraft. So H.P. Lovecraft's full name is Howard Phillips Lovecraft, and this character, the hydrologist, his name is Ward Phillips, which is clever.
That's clever,
I suppose.
Sure.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Who wants to read the next one?
I got it.
It doesn't inspire too much conversation, this first one.
Okay. In a Q&A with Richard Stanley, he claimed that the film would be the first of a trilogy. There you go, guys.
Oh dear.
With a Dunwich horror adaptation coming next. Well, all right then.
Maybe by the last film they'll have a freaking point.
Well, hey, but that's true. Who knows what we're going for, right?
Oh yeah.
There's not going to be a trilogy here. The budget for this was $6 to $12 million, and it got $1 million in the box office.
Don't know that. With the power of Nick Cage, we might get it done.
Well,
with the
They didn't-
power of
they-
Nick
They
Cage.
didn't make enough in the box office to pay Nick Cage. So,
Well,
Yeah,
Netflix
they
has
didn't.
picked it up. You never know. You never know.
all right.
It's,
Okay.
it's the COVID times.
This is Richard Stanley's first feature film in 24 years.
Holy shit! What
Since
was he
the
doing?
infamous The
Since
Island
then?
of Dr. Moreau
What?
in 1996.
No kidding.
28 years, if counting, since Dust Devil in 1992
Wow.
has signed work. Stanley was fired and replaced by John Frankenheimer to be uncredited after. So,
Wow.
why? Okay, you're coming out after 24 years. You got your chance, and this.
What was he
to
doing?
hang your hat on this? That's career suicide.
I don't know. Okay. I don't know very much about the Island of Dr. Moreau and the troubles that they had to go through to make that movie. Does anybody more familiar with that situation?
I can't really speak
A
of it,
little bit.
What have you heard, Phil?
It was a troubled set. It was one of the last movies by guy from Godfather. Sorry, I forget his name.
Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando and Val Kilmer was in it, I do believe, and it was a weird movie. It's it's worth maybe reviewing.
Yeah, and we'll put it on the list. We'll put it on the list. Yeah.
Strange movie. Like, yeah. Anyways,
Well,
Anyway.
I'm intrigued. Yeah.
So Richard Stanley, and he probably had some renown for the Island of Dr. Moreau. So even though it had a lot of problems, his name still got around, and he was kind of in the loop, I guess.
Yeah. So why the 24-year hiatus then?
I don't know. Maybe he's catch up on some reading, or
Alcoholism? Drug problem? I don't know.
maybe a drug problem. Yeah, I mean,
come
God,
on,
Yeah,
I wouldn't
okay,
put it past
all right.
Hollywood.
come
All
on.
right. I guess I'm reading the next one.
Sure.
Director Richard Stanley, there he is again, and Swedish filmmaker Henrik Molière apparently performed a ritual to the Lovecraftian god Yog-Sothoth while in the Pyrenees to get the film made.
Okay, so they are doing drugs.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
they're really into it or something
Yeah.
like that. I could tell these guys, when they made this movie, they knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
And it just, for me, it was shit, right? So
This reminds me of Maximum Overdrive when Stephen King admits that they were doing way too much cocaine and everything looked grand. This is what's going on here. They're doing these rituals, probably high out of their mind, thinking it's great, and then they think this movie is great, and it's That's all I got to say.
oh,
All right. Well,
it sucked. This movie
Yeah.
said, don't watch it.
I don't know. I think you gotta give it. It's Netflix, man. What do you got to lose? It's not like you're going to the theater
Oh, yeah.
movie anymore. Just give it a shot. Just,
If you're into H.P. Lovecraft, this is your bag, right?
Yeah. And also if you're a Nick Cage fan, give it a shot. See what you think. But otherwise, I don't know. It's not a date movie. That's for sure. It's not a family movie.
I'm a huge Nick Cage fan, and I would definitely not recommend.
Okay,
anyone
well
see that.
then we
Who's a
gotta
Nick
pick a
Cage fan.
we gotta pick a better Nick Cage movie to.
Yeah, Snake Eyes. That's a good one.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Face Off. Anyway,
we could go on. We could go
on. Next week, Monday at noon, we're covering Ruthless People. It was picked by John.
Yes. Good memories. I mean, this is a movie that goes. It's an old movie, back in I think it was '86 or something like that. And I was a young man when I saw it, and I thought it was hilarious back then. And it reminded me of, our movie, the Glorious Befuddlement, but and then some, of course. There's so much. It's such a clusterfuck of things. It's one of a kind in that sense. I don't think there's any other movie that's such a clusterfuck as this.
It was a nice little trip down memory lane, and yes, that's right. You heard him correctly. We made a movie, and you need to check it out. Now,
Yes.
yes, it's on.
It's true.
It's on our YouTube channel. It's on our website. You need to give that a watch. Anyway, yeah. Next week, Monday at noon, Ruthless People. Be there, be square, primarylycritical.com. Anything else? I'm Steve.
I'm Phil.
All right. Peace
All
out.
right, man. Bye-bye.